The newspapers in England full of speculation once again about the future of Jadon Sancho, heavily linked to a move to Manchester United. Craig Burley is with us. Craig, if he rang you to ask for some advice, what would you tell him to do?
Well, it's funny, Dan, because, you know, I don't think there's many, if any, people that are not huge fans of this young man. Multi-talented, super confident teenager with the world at his feet. But the dynamic has changed somewhat. And I know there are a lot of big clubs, particularly in England, but there'll be other clubs in other countries around Europe and possibly even in Germany itself chasing this guy. And he has to make the right decisions. Look, the answer is, could he make a move and step into one of the big boys and play? Yes, because Borussia Dortmund are a big club, they're a great club, but they are pretty much a little bit of a selling club. They've shown that before. But my concern would be, Dan, that he's in a good place at the moment. Yeah, the season's been disrupted, but they were in the title race. And he's getting game time. And I think, bearing in mind the Euros have moved to 2021, next year becomes super important for a lot of players, for all players, but for a lot of guys who may be thinking about making a move to make sure they get game time. Now, we know if the Euros had been played this summer, as it was scheduled, Jadon Sancho was having a fantastic season and he was getting game time, and Gareth Southgate, there's a fair chance he would have been in that starting 11 for England. Now, if he makes a move in the summer, leading up to the Euros, which are now in 2021, and he doesn't get that game time, the whole thing changes for him. And so I think he has to be very important or very careful about what he does. And actually, now that the Euros have moved, and if that for him is important, and I think it is for most players, I think he's in actually a very good place to maybe spend another 12 or 15 months at the club he's at, because we know he's going to get a platform to showcase his talents.
Is there an argument to say that Manchester United, in fact, is a step down at the moment from Borussia Dortmund?
Well, everybody was gushing about Man United before the shutdown for this global pandemic, because by their standards, they had got better, but they'd set the bar so low, and it was such desperation that they got Bruno Fernandes in that all of a sudden this guy showed just how bad they were with his recent very good performances before everything, as I say, was sort of shuttled up. We don't know how Man United were going to finish the season, or may finish the season if it indeed restarts. We don't know that. You know, they might finish behind Sheffield United. They might finish behind Tottenham. They might finish behind Wolves. We just don't have those answers. They maybe not. They maybe end up in the top four and it would have been Champions League football. We just don't have those answers at the moment. But I certainly tell you one thing, if it was Liverpool and Man U, looking at the two clubs, I'm looking at Liverpool, but then I'm a little bit more concerned about my game time there. And so you've got to hedge all these things up. And that's why I say, Dan, because we now expect the Euros to happen in 2021, which would be about 15 months' time, it is hugely important for him to be playing 35, 40, 45 games next year for whatever club it's at and showcasing his talents. Now, is he good enough to make that move and play at a new club? He is, but there are no guarantees, apart from the fact we know if he stays at Dortmund under Lucien Favre, he's going to get game time. And I think for a young player, that is very, very important.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.